you know, I here I am pouring my heart out, and talking about God and talking about how I want to be more honest in these conversations, and how just all these, pouring my heart out, talking about how, my love of comedy and how I got here and the MRA movement and all these little, things that are, let's just listen to some music. I even mentioned who made me this music. All right. I'm not even sure I'm going to post the first video. Maybe I will. Call this part 2. Anyway, I was talking about how dating is so difficult when you're divorced, and all my exes live in West Texas, and I was really just rambling, talking about more of the story that I'm learning. And for this video, I even made notes. I talk about, I want to start talking about words that are uncomfortable, and I want to talk about how I want to have more honest conversations, and then I'll rant about Richard Rohr a lot, my favorite Catholic priest. Oh, and maybe I didn't even introduce myself. Who am I? I'm Jonathan Fibonacci, and why that's not my real last name, and how the MRA movement... MRA, what's that? Hashtag MRA. Joe Rogan! Joe Rogan. Uh-oh. Let this out a little bit. What's that? There you go. We got some air. Joe Rogan. Anyway, Joe Rogan talks about the MRA, and anyway, here I am, and I wanted to just make a video, because I just went down to the Comedy Store. Here I am, just kind of parked in literally some of the nicest homes in America, and went to the Comedy Store, and I saw Robin Williams' name, and I got emotional, like literally legit emotional. I even talked about my stepdad, who, there was some abuse there, and how it was through comedy that he and I laughed, and how laughter became both a weapon and a refuge to me. And then how that now that, here I am in the situation, it's, you go like, man, all these videos are random, and you worry a lot about my self-esteem, of how I'm presenting myself. And, and I, let me just kind of give a little bit of background. I was that typical American guy chasing the American dream, started a business, and ran it for 10 years. Kind of was a workaholic, very workaholic, where basically I had to just define myself by the next dollar. It's the typical cliche American dream. I just happened to be named Jonathan, and I drank the Kool-Aid. I did. Lock, stock, and barrel. I drank it, and went to college, married young, made babies, got divorced. She took me back to court, ended up losing my children, and how really, now that I'm kind of in this situation, how all I ever really wanted was happiness and a family, and how that was it. And here I am, literally right now. It's 4:22, and I'm making this video, just coming from the Comedy Store, and I'm like, man, I'm walking up here inspired by seeing Robin Williams' name, but also just kind of emotional, of do I want to take my love of comedy seriously? Do I really want to teach, fractal math to day traders? And do I want to talk about the MRA and how significantly it impacts men in civil cases, and how people don't really talk about men's rights? They even laugh at them, and how to be to be feminist and to be gluten-free is like so cliche LA, but now it's, to say, yeah, I'm a men's rights activist because I have 2 beautiful, healthy, loving children that I'm by law can't even talk to, and how the CPS and what that's like for a man just to have to go through this, like a CPS investigation, and how, when I got my letter that says, yeah, she's just full of shit, and there's no problem here, that still you can lose your kids on just on a mere allegation. And I want to talk about how, how women just use the court systems to abuse men. Look at Heather Mills and Paul McCartney, and how you say things like that, and they're so uncomfortable to talk about, and how I've worried about my own well-being, and so let my business go, and still dealing with the heartbreak of my children, and then go see Robin Williams' name, and I get emotional because it was humor and laughter, and that's how I connected with people, and how I also want to talk about other things that are equally important to me about God and how big of a part of that of my life and how sustaining that's been. And, talk about cannabis and how there's so many things I want to talk about. And I think really coming up this mountain after seeing Robin Williams' name, after going to the Comedy Store, just literally to be around the great cloud of witnesses, it's like, John, it's time to be honest. It's time to really, really own your heart. And how my heart got broken. A little town called Muleshoe, Texas. A little town of Muleshoe, Texas. Broke my heart. And music time, baby, right? Because that's why we wear glasses, and that's why we hide behind music and hide behind jokes. Yeah. So, I read a quote by Gandhi, and he said, the world does not need more successful people. The world needs people that are storytellers, are healers, and the world needs people to be fully alive. And that's what the church needs. That's what America needs. That's what LA needs, and that's what I would love to bring to comedy. And to see the greats like Robin Williams or Pryor. Those are my heroes. And that's almost kind of, I didn't know that it was okay to have a hero as a comedian as a hero, because I'm from Oklahoma, but through this heartbreak, it's been devastating, but it's also been where God has met me the closest. And I just want to share that story, because I believe Gandhi said, I could bless people with stories. I'm like, all right, well, that's one thing I could do. I could talk, and I could be honest, and I'll try to have the most honest conversations possible. All right, you guys have a great day. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Let's go another mile or two. You guys be good.